What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host, the best one, Donnie here, back with a brand new episode of Hot Takes. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, you already know, the grind is real. So last week, you guys were probably wondering why there was not a new episode of Hot Takes. And the reason to that was because I was out all last weekend celebrating a good friend of mine's 21st birthday. And I just did not have the time at all last week to cover Hot Takes. So I do want to apologize to the We Are Wrestling Maniacs for that. But we're back, and we have a huge topic that we're going to be talking about on this week's episode. And I was going to make an extra on this topic, but I wanted to wait until more information came out and do my research before I came on here and gave you guys my hot takes. And this week, we are going to be talking about CM Punk. So, according to Dave Meltzer and Fightful and all of these wrestling news sources out there, it looked like CM Punk was originally not going to be on Dynamite this week. And last second, around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they announced that CM Punk was going to be on the show to, address Jon Moxley. And the beginning of Dynamite on Wednesday, we saw CM Punk come out, and he, cut a promo, a pretty deep promo that, personally I did enjoy. But one thing that I didn't even think about at all when I was reacting and watching the beginning of Dynamite with CM Punk's promo was the shots that he took at with Hangman Adam Page, which I think a lot of us were pretty shocked about that because, of course, after Double or Nothing, we all thought that, okay, CM Punk's moving on now. He's the AEW World Champion, and Hangman's gonna, do something new, which so far Hangman hasn't really done much. But CM Punk, went on the mic and pretty much called out Adam Page, and Adam Page, of course, because it was a shoot, did not answer, and then CM Punk pretty much called him a coward, taking some shots at him, and it looks like more reports have been coming out within the, last few days that there is a lot of backstage tension going on in AEW right now, and a lot of it has to do with the whole Colt Cabana situation, because in case you guys don't know, Colt Cabana's contract expired, and Tony Khan did not renew it. He was going to let Colt Cabana go, and lots of the people backstage look up to Colt Cabana, and it caused lots of issues there to where Tony Khan eventually decided to sign Colt Cabana to the new Ring of Honor. And that, ever since that happened, there's been lots of tension going on, and I could see what's going on here. I think that there's lots of tension probably with Adam Page and CM Punk because of Colt Cabana. CM Punk probably wants the guy gone because they had lots of issues after the whole lawsuit settlement thing that happened with the WWE doctor when CM Punk, after he left WWE, went on Colt Cabana's podcast, Art of Wrestling, and, went really deep into things, and it caused friction between their friendships because, in case you guys don't know, Colt Cabana and CM Punk, they were best friends since day one in Ring of Honor, and now they are not friends at all, which, for the maniacs out there, it sucks. Like, personally, I wish that these two would just, friggin' settle things and go back to how things used to be. But unfortunately, friends in life, they come and go, and that is what happened with CM Punk and Colt Cabana. So, ever since this happened, there's been lots of tension going on. There's like two sides of the locker room. You got CM Punk's side, and you pretty much got Colt Cabana and like Hangman's side. Which, that's like speculations. I don't know if that's 100% confirmed or not. But there does seem to be lots of tension going on backstage. And this is what I have been saying here on the We Are Wrestling Talk show, is that freaking Tony Khan needs to get himself a inner circle. Triple H has guys he can trust. Scott D'Amore, the guy that right now is running Impact Wrestling, has a circle of people he can trust. Even Vince McMahon, before he retired, he had a circle of people he can trust. Maybe there are people that we didn't like, but still, backstage was more structured and it was a lot better. That is because personally for me, I enjoy the AEW product a lot more than WWE, even with the new direction WWE is going in. But one thing I will say, because I do call the bullshit out on WWE, and I do call out the bullshit on AEW, and if you are We Are Wrestling Maniac, you friggin' know that. I could say that AEW does need to be more structured. That is my opinion. I think Tony Khan needs to have more of an inner circle. That's why when the reports came out a couple weeks ago that he expanded his talent relations, I thought that was a step in the right direction, but we still need to get guys Tony Khan can trust. And I think, maybe some of this backstage tension has been going on since Cody Rhodes left as well. Because in case, people forgot, Cody Rhodes was a locker room leader over in AEW, and he had lots of guys, under his wing, like Ricky Starks, who now, is actually doing something. MJF, who we have not seen since, the shoot promo at Tony Khan, which I really do hope MJF does come back pretty soon. And, even Anthony Ogogo, who hasn't really done much either. There's lots of Cody Rhodes guys that are still in AEW. And, not having Cody Rhodes there, being there to guide them, I could definitely see there being tension because, of course, Tony Khan is the CEO of All Elite Wrestling. So, with certain guys that he sees, are probably the big guys like Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, are going to be the guys that Tony Khan is going to be looking at a little bit more than his day ones. And I think, Adam Page probably stuck up for Colt Cabana because, of course, when Colt Cabana was a part of Dark Order, Adam Page did a lot of stuff with them, and I'm sure he developed a great friendship with Colt Cabana, and that's probably where lots of tension happened with him and Punk. A lot of people are actually saying the promo before their match at Double or Nothing is what CM Punk pretty much got anal about, but who knows? That's not 100% confirmed yet, which I could definitely see why people do think that's true. I personally think that is kind of true because Adam Page did go he went in there and shot CM Punk. And if CM Punk is actually butthurt about Adam Page doing what CM Punk is known for doing, shoots, then freaking CM Punk needs to, calm that ego down just a little bit. And I really hope that CM Punk is not friggin' getting himself a bigger ego, which sadly I'm starting to kind of see it. I don't want to because I love CM Punk. I am such a big fan of his work and I want this to work. I don't want to see CM Punk leave the wrestling business again. I want to see him continue his career in AEW, but at the same time, I also want to see Adam Page and all these other guys, MJF and stuff, on the product as well. We need to get the backstage stuff in check. And the person I gotta blame for this is easily Tony fucking Khan. Because as a booker, I think Tony Khan is pretty good. Because this man be doing really good with long-term storylines. And I really enjoy the 2 hours of AEW Dynamite. Now, what Tony Khan needs to do is find somebody to friggin' run Rampage, Dark, and Dark Elevation because those shows are fucking dog shit, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. Dynamite is the only watchable thing that AEW has, and that's why I say Tony Khan needs to get himself a inner circle to, help him write the show. Let him, friggin' take a little bit of a break. Let him focus on Dynamite while these other guys that they have, like Big Show, Mark Henry, friggin' Tony they have a lot of guys that are backstage, a lot of good producers. They can take care of Rampage. And maybe eventually you can get yourself a 2-hour thing because if Tony Khan is running Ring of Honor, it is going to be a dumpster fire. That is a hot take right there. I just think overall with the whole CM Punk situation, he definitely should have not went into business for himself. That wasn't right. I feel like bringing up Adam Page after the feud is over, there's no point in doing that. And, I wouldn't blame Adam Page for being pissed off about that because Adam Page put CM Punk over in the main event of Double or Nothing. And that was a friggin' classic match right there. And it's crazy with all the tension going on with AEW because it looks like the momentum right now is shifting more towards WWE ever since Triple H started running creative, bringing back some of his NXT guys that he built, like Karrion Kross and Hit Row, and, other superstars that he's been bringing back. Here's what I think, is happening right now. The former WWE guys in AEW are upset because they have been waiting for Triple H to run the whole creative. They have been waiting for this moment that Vince McMahon retired. They have been waiting for this opportunity to happen. And some of these guys rushed into things and signed AEW contracts, and some of them probably are regretting it. We've seen, Miro and Andrade already on wrestling Twitter, pretty much liking fans' tweets about them being misused in AEW and stuff. Here's what I think Tony Khan's got to do because of how divided the locker room is. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to disagree with this hot take here. But I think if they want to get this locker room back to normal, one, they need to have more structure back there. You can let these guys have freedom and stuff, but you need to have more structure because without order, there's going to be chaos. Which is what's happening clearly according to all these wrestling news reports. And another big thing I feel like they really need to do is if these certain guys that sign these extensions and stuff are on AEW and they're frustrated and they don't want to be a part of AEW and what they're doing, Tony Khan just needs to be straight up like Billy Corgan is with NWA. If you don't want to be a part of my promotion, I will I will just let you go. Pretty much, get them out of their contracts and release them. Because personally, I think, if you are a promoter or an owner or a booker, you can't hold wrestlers back. You just can't do that because you know what you're doing there? You are holding your wrestling promotion back by doing that because you're afraid that, the other company is going to freaking explode and do a lot better with this person. Well, actually use the person properly. Because for me personally, I am sick and tired of MJF not being on AEW TV. Personally, for me, as an AEW diehard fan, I enjoy MJF more than anything else on AEW Dynamite and on AEW TV. The MJF stuff is the best shit that AEW is doing by far. MJF is the most entertaining freaking professional wrestler in AEW right now, in my opinion. And just having him sit right now through the contract because of his, shoot with Tony Khan, something needs to happen. Even though I do know that there are reports out there that MJF is going to be coming back pretty soon. But what Tony Khan needs to do is have talks with his superstars and say, look, if you don't want to be a part of AEW, then I will let you go and you can go to WWE or NWA or Impact Wrestling and go do whatever you want to do because because usually you know what they say in a race, all right? The slowest person, that is how fast you are going. I know I completely said that wrong, but pretty much if one person's holding you back, they're going to hold back the entire company. And that is why WWE right now has the momentum going right now because everybody on that roster is on the same page. Triple H is a locker room leader. He is out there for his guys. He wants to see his entire roster be happy. He wants to see his entire roster be successful. And that right there is what Tony Khan needs to focus on. Because I know Billy Corgan in NWA, there was a couple guys in NWA that weren't happy, and Billy Corgan was more than happy to just let them go and let them move on and let him keep focusing on NWA. Because here's the thing, locker room and team chemistry is everything. Why do you think the Ruthless Aggression era was so successful? Why do you think the Attitude Era was the most successful thing in professional wrestling? Because every men and women in that locker room during the Attitude Era were all on the same page, and that is why from the opening match to some of the funny stuff to the middle to the end, the entire 2 hours of Monday Night Raw and Friday night or Thursday Night SmackDown were successful because every single wrestler on that friggin' roster was on the same exact page. And that is what AEW needs to do, because in the beginning, when AEW first came around, we never saw reports about backstage heat and tension between top guys and mid-card guys. This is a whole WCW situation going on. Why do you think WCW went out of business? Why do you think TNA freaking fell off after 2009 when Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan came? Because there was tension. The locker room morales were down. Team chemistry is everything. Why do you think the Golden State Warriors in the basket and NBA are a dynasty? A lot of people are like, oh, because of Steph Curry. No, it's because of the team chemistry that they have. The whole franchise of the Golden State Warriors is why they are 4-time NBA champions. And this is what AEW really needs to take notes on, because clearly there are guys that are frustrated, and I think a lot of these former WWE guys was a mistake signing from Tony Khan. Yes, as a Maniac, it was exciting to see somebody get an opportunity that Vince McMahon misused. But now it's taking away from the pillars of AEW, like MJF, Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin. You are taking away from originals. And personally, for me, as I'm watching the show, yes, I enjoy guys like Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley and CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, Keith Lee, Swerve. I enjoy all of them. But the problem is that there needs to be a balance. You can have your top guys. In the beginning of AEW, when they were actually friggin' all on the same page, they were using their originals, they were using their top guys like Mox and Jericho, and they were putting on some of the best Dynamite episodes in AEW product history, in my opinion. And that is what is missing right now with the product, because we have too many former WWE guys, and I think it's time Tony Khan's got to let some of these guys go, because clearly Andrade and Miro are frustrated if they're liking fans' tweets about them saying, oh, you've been utilized better in WWE, even though it's their fault that they left and they went. But still, my hot take for this is AEW, in my opinion, they need to let some of these former WWE guys go, and who they should be focusing on is their day ones. They need to focus on guys that aren't WWE guys. Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, Hook, QT Marshall. All of these other guys is who AEW needs to focus on. Parker, they just got Parker. That's a perfect guy for the future of AEW. This is the guys that they need to push and they need to keep focusing on. The Acclaimed, I feel like, could be a great AEW tag team champions. The Gun Club, what friggin' the Ass Boys have done is very entertaining. Orange Cassidy, Danhausen. There are so many day one guys. Personally, when I'm watching the show, I enjoy these guys just a little bit more than the top guys in AEW. I'm not saying get rid of everybody, because Jericho, Mox, CM Punk, they just need to make this work. That's what they need to do, because that is why right now momentum is in WWE hands. Despite having CM Punk come back on AEW TV, despite having Kenny Omega come back on AEW TV, WWE right now has the momentum. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the whole CM Punk situation and my hot takes. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. If you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Hot Takes, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, help support, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. Links down in the description below. You can go follow me on my other YouTube pages and social medias, all that down below. And of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.